Howdy my dear partners, and ahoy me lovely mateys. My name is Announcement and Talking, I don't know. So the first thing I want to talk about is a quick announcement, because right now I'm currently streaming on Mondays and Tuesdays. That's my steady stream schedule. But because of stuff that's been coming up and happening, I'm changing it from Mondays and Tuesdays to Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are going to be the days easiest for me to stream, and so I'm going to be streaming on those days at 10:15, just like I always do. That's the quick announcement, just moving my stream days. So now to get into the actual plot of this video. Oh boy. So this is a little series I'm going to call the Journey Videos. And the Journey Videos are supposed to be like my journey on YouTube. I've never actually seen any YouTubers do this. I've tried to go to their channel and see like how they started out, like their first video versus how they are now, and like what kind of gear they have, what kind of content they made. And so I never really found like that basis of like how they grew into what they are now. So I kind of want to like pave that path a little and show people what it's like behind the scenes for small YouTubers, and if I continue growing, like see how bigger YouTubers grow into who they are. That largely depends on how my path goes. This is also partially supposed to be for people who need advice when starting YouTube, because that's something that I don't have. I'm trying to figure this all out for myself. But if I find something that I think could help someone who's trying to start out on YouTube for themselves, I think it'd be cool to have this advice thing, these videos about advice. It's also supposed to help track my content, make sure this is where I started and this is when this changed, this is when that changed, to be kind of like a road marker for me, basically. I've been streaming for a few weeks now. I started, I think, back in early June, and it's early August now, so I've been doing this for about 2 months. I posted my first animatic toward the end of April though, and then I have some private videos. The first thing I wanted to talk about with my personal experience and advice for other people who want to start is don't worry about the numbers. I've seen other YouTubers do this, where they talk about when they were starting YouTube, they were obsessed with the numbers, like how many subscribers they have, how many views they have, you know? And sometimes they'll compare themselves to other greater YouTubers that are getting those higher numbers. And I don't think that's okay. If you are comparing your own numbers, you should compare your numbers to how you did in your last video. You know, if your video has like 40 views and your last one had 50, like obviously there was something in that last video that your people liked and not the other one. And comparing yourself to other bigger YouTubers is really bad, because if you see someone and they have like 100 times more subscribers than you do, and you compare yourself to them, it's going to discourage you, and you're not going to have the confidence to keep going with YouTube. And that's really sad. A lot of people have quit YouTube because they realize that they don't have the numbers that they want. If you are going to compare yourself to other YouTubers, you should probably compare yourself in a way like, I can be there one day, rather than I'm never going to get there. If you see someone with 100,000 subscribers, don't look at your channel with like 78 and be like, I'm never going to get that high. I'm never going to do it. That's what discourages people the most. And you have to change your mindset from I will never do that to I can be that. All you have to do is keep working, keep going through strong. And if you're comparing yourself to other YouTubers like Markiplier or someone else, there's a high probability that they've been doing it much longer than you. If you're trying to compare yourself to those other YouTubers that have been around for years, you need to keep in mind that when they first started doing it, it was considered to be the Wild West of the internet. You know, like, people were still figuring things out. It wasn't simply like, oh, I play video games and look at my millions of subscribers. No. You need to keep pushing forward. You need to keep working on your own content, and you need to realize that you might not be there yet, but you're going to get there. Traveling takes time. It's not going to be immediate. The second thing I wanted to talk about was your gear. Now, here's the problem. Not only I've seen this, but many others have seen where Twitch streamers and YouTubers will have these giant setups. You know, like this expensive computer that's like $4,000, and this expensive camera that does fancy stuff, you know? That's great and all, but they also worked to get there. There are many streamers and YouTubers out there though that will get all this expensive stuff, start streaming or start doing YouTube, and they'll be like, why am I not getting the following I want? I should be getting more subscribers. I should be more popular. Why am I not more popular? It's not about your gear, it's about your personality. And personally, you don't think that if you're starting YouTube, you should start with expensive gear. You shouldn't start with all this like nice stuff like a super fancy computer or a customizable camera. You shouldn't start with those things, because then you're gonna be like, where are my subscribers? Why am I not more popular? It's gonna make you sound like a jerk, and you're gonna send your audience away. I originally was not gonna post this, but I'm literally recording on my cell phone. This is my cell phone camera. I don't have a camera for videos. It's literally just my cell phone. And that's okay. I don't need to start with the expensive, fancy stuff. Obviously, if you have it, you can use it, but you don't need to start with that. As your channel will continue to grow, you'll be able to get more gear and you'll be able to advance. This is just what I've seen. I haven't actually gotten to do any of this. It's okay to start simple and small. You don't need a huge setup. And even if you do have a huge setup, don't be a jerk about it, please. I've seen this a lot, especially on Twitch. The third thing I wanted to talk about is content. Content's probably the hardest thing for me, because all of the content that I have ideas of making involve large groups of people. For me, it's not really like, oh, I could simply just do this. For me, it's more like, I need a group of people to like send me something for me to react to, or interact with this post and something will happen. I don't know. For me, I have ideas for videos, and the best ones are probably going to be the ones where I can interact with people, but I would need a larger audience for that. So as a small creator who's been doing this for 2 months, I'm trying to do things that involve low audience interaction. I have a comedy sketch that I'm going to be working on in a couple days, so look forward to that. I've been doing a lot of gaming where I just comment on the game that I'm playing, and it's really fun. So you don't need a huge following in order to make content. It's separated into 2 categories. There's large audience interaction and there's low audience interaction. If you're a small YouTuber, just try to stick with that low audience for a while until you can get that following that you need for the larger audience interactions. I hope this was helpful for anyone who needed advice on doing YouTube, and if you're watching this because it's basically an update vlog, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're watching this to see where I screwed up, then I'm sorry for whatever I did. And yeah, so this is literally just supposed to show like how I have grown, and supposed to give other people advice on starting YouTube. So these are my thoughts on my YouTube interactions so far, and it's changed a lot in 2 months. It's also helped me look at other creators differently, but I'll talk about that next time. Well, thanks for watching. Have a great day, smile, subscribe I guess, and farewell.